Our In the Trenches crew breaks down how Miami can avoid another disaster against Georgia Tech.
Plus, pardon my French, Annika Alves hits the court with Canes hooper Paul Jobet.
And finally, hardware at Hard Rock. We'll bring you the story of one Hurricanes fan who earned a unique honor last week.
All this and more.
SportsDesk starts right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching SportsDesk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UM guy. You're watching SportsDesk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching SportsDesk.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Desk. I'm Manny Nacarado.
And I'm Wrigley Court. Thank you for joining us. Manny, the Canes had me worried through three quarters against Duke last week, but they managed to pull it off again.
Yeah, another second half comeback, but also we had some familiar faces show up at the stadium. Last Saturday, the Canes hosted Duke as Manny Diaz made his return to Miami. Let's head over to Hard Rock Stadium to take a look at those highlights. So here we go. We got Miami versus Duke at Hard Rock. Cam Ward rolling to his right. He's looking down the field. He's going deep, and the ball's tipped by a Duke defender, but Restrepo makes the catch. Look at the concentration and footwork from the X-Man there. And here's Malik Murphy dropping back down 14-0. And here's what a catch from Jordan Moore. Gets 1 foot in. That's a college touchdown. Malik Murphy trying to tie the game. Gets it to his check down. Defense on an island, nowhere to be found, and Duke scores, tying the game, and Duke in the red zone again late in the second quarter. Malik Murphy gets it to the check down again, and Duke takes the lead going into halftime, but Miami coming back, gets it to Restrepo. Cam Ward Restrepo connection very strong this season, and Miami in the red zone again, hands off to Elijah Lofton in for the score. Miami takes the lead, and now for the cherry on top, Cam Ward, Jacoby George. How many times have we seen that this season? What a connection those two have. And that's going to be the final score, 53-31. Miami getting the win. They'll head over to Georgia to face off the Yellow Jackets.
Halloween may be over, but Miami fans might be a bit haunted by last year's loss against Georgia Tech. Our In the Trenches crew is here to break down how the Canes can avoid another heartbreaker.
Thanks, Wrigley. Welcome back to In the Trenches. I'm your host, Jaden Cohe, joined by analyst Shay McDonough. You know, Shay, I was seeing online that last week was supposed to be a trap game, but I don't think that's true because the Canes have come out unscathed after a 53-31 win against Duke, and going into Week 10, they still look like the team to beat.
Well, it looked a little bit like a trap game up until Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo got cooking. We'll talk about the X-Man a little bit. 146 yards, 3 touchdowns, a massive day for this guy. Look at him right here, going over the middle, catching the ball, breaking some tackles, moving a little bit. And now a contested catch in the end zone right there. But the biggest one, this catch right over here for the record books, boosting Miami to number 3 in the nation in the college football. A first official college football playoff bracket is looking good, but they got to keep momentum going, especially this week going into Georgia Tech.
Absolutely, and who better to tell us about it than our beat reporter, Ashley Freeland. She joined us live from Bobby Dobbs Stadium to tell us more. Ashley, this game was at home last year, and the Canes couldn't quite pull it through, but how are they going to do that this year as they're on the road?
Yeah, we apologize for technical difficulties, but I mean, we might not have. Well, let's take it to the Shay's takeaways a little bit. Not Carter's clues, maybe not some other type of keys, but Shay's takeaways. Let's start it off right here. Swarm the ball. Georgia Tech likes to run an option offense, and it's led by their quarterback, if he's healthy, Haynes King. Let's take a look at the drop off with him out of the game. Look at that, 204 yards to 80, 5.5 per carry to 2.5. Turnovers are up in just 2 games, and points dramatically down. Without him, it could be, if he gets back and healthy, it could be good. It could be bad news for Miami. But the next thing right here, create chaos in the hive. And how you do that? You make turnovers. And Miami, 3 turnovers through the air last week with his maligned secondary. And if they continue to do that and make more plays in that secondary, it could be a very good for Miami. And the last thing right here, one more thing, and don't force this thing. We know Cam Ward, He is specialized and spectacular, but it can get him in trouble. Look at him rolling out right here, going over the middle, and it looks exactly like that pick six he had against Virginia Tech. He has to avoid plays like that, but if he does, Miami could have a good day down in Georgia Tech next week.
Absolutely, they could. Hey, that's all the time we have for today. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you, guys. From hitting threes to chopping down trees, Canes social media is all over our feeds. Zach Macer is here to do the most as he takes you behind the post.
So today, I gotta start with a story for y'all. A couple days ago, I bit an apple and broke my permanent retainer. My mouth is on fire. But that doesn't stop me from bringing you behind the post today, because I'm gonna do it through the wire.
I spit it through the wire, man.
From everything Hurricanes you see on your phone, you know when I'm on SportsDesk, no matter how much pain I'm in, I won't groan. So sit back on your couch, prepare to coast. I'm Zach Macer, and it's time to go behind the post. Another week of football, another week of Cam Ward being that dude. 400 passing yards, 5 tutties, and he was named ACC Quarterback of the Week for the 6th time this year. Let this Canes football post do the talking, ladies and gentlemen. Eisman. Also, basketball is back. You already heard about how the Canes did with both teams demolishing their opponents. But did you get to see this fresh alley-oop Matthew Cleveland had? Canes Men's Hoops provided the angles on the Insta. And then, Trisha Culp and the women's team coaches celebrated their first victory together with a beautiful commemorative basketball. And many Canes fans are hoping for many more wins. Best of luck, y'all. Finally, the volleyball team made history at the Knight Sports Complex last Friday, beating number 5 Stanford in an electric 5 sets. Canes volleyball captured the amazing moment, and the radio call of the moment is as good as it gets.
Lopez will take it. Set by Rodriguez, slam from Meredith Road. Canes win! Canes win! A miracle at the Knight Sports Complex as number 5 Stanford goes down.
Look, that's all the time I have tonight. But don't worry, I'll be here every week. And when you see me on Behind the Post, you know I'll bring out my sick rhyming technique. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Zach. And coming up on SportsDesk, one local gym is paving the way for kids to start Olympic weight training. Stay with us. College basketball is officially underway, and the Hurricanes men's and women's basketball squads open their seasons with a bang. Our Hurricane Hang Time crew is here to break it all down. Guys?
Hello and welcome back to another segment of Hurricane Hang Time. I'm your host, Emmeline Smith, joined by Taryn Jacobs and Gio Alonzo. The men's and the women's teams both started off their season this week. Gio, how'd the men's team do?
Well, Emmeline, the Miami Hurricanes men's basketball team got their season started off with a bang, a 113-72 win over Farley Dickinson at the Watsco Center. Miami's new addition, Lynn Kidd, the star of the show that night with 24 points and 9 rebounds on an outstanding 10 of 11 from the field. Nigel Pack also shot 9 of 11 from the field for 21 points. Miami's game plan in one word was efficiency. The Hurricanes making 66.7% of their total shots and hitting 41% from beyond the arc. Just an outstanding performance. Jalen Blackman, Nigel Pack, and Lynn Kidd were the stars of the show in terms of points. But I also want to give a quick shout out to some players that made a huge impact off the bench. Highly touted 5-star freshman Jaleel Bethea throwing in 9 points, as well as a highlight reel ankle breaker, along with Divine Ugochukwu, another freshman, toting in 15 more. It's going to be exciting to see what Miami can do as they face some more stiff competition down the line this season.
Thank you, Gio. And Taryn, we all have high expectations for the women's team this season. How did they do this week?
Emmeline, well, the women's team started their season off strong on Monday with a dominating victory over Stetson, 78-53. They outscored Stetson by almost 20 points in that second half, and Miami had 4 players score in the double figures. Jasmine Roberts with a game high of 13 points off the bench. Haley Cavender with 12 points, and transfer Cameron Williams with a double-double with 10 points and 10 rebounds. Now, speaking of rebounds, Miami owned the boards in the game on Monday with 58 total team rebounds. This is the first game since December of 2019 that the team had this many rebounds in a single game. The Canes will look to carry the momentum into their game on Monday against Jacksonville.
Thank you, Taryn. That's all the time we have for today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. From the French Riviera to the Watsco Center, Annika Alves hit the court with sophomore hooper Paul Jobet on this week's edition of Athlete of the Week.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to this week's edition of Athlete of the Week. I'm your host, Annika Alves, and today I'm at the Watsco Center to play Around the World with Canes basketball player Paul Jobet. Let's get right to it.
Where are you from?
Oh my God.
I'm from Lille in France. It's like 2 hours away from Paris.
Do you have a pre-game ritual?
I like to take a nap before each of my games.
You take a nap before your games?
Yeah, like
How long?
45 minutes.
Is your family like your biggest support group for like every endeavor you have?
Yeah, definitely.
This is getting worse. So your family's like your biggest supporters?
Yeah, my family and my friends, I'll say, but especially my family.
Is there any like significance for why you picked number 10?
Number 10, that was my dad's favorite number, so I went to wear it for him. And I think I started playing basketball with that number too, so I just wanted to get back to that.
Oh, I love that. Should we shoot for like a 3? I'm 0 for, I don't even know how many things we've shot right now, but I see that you're good at 3s. Okay. Going. Oh, I was so close.
It wasn't bad.
That was better than the 5 other air balls that I've had. That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
I made one. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's edition, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Passing it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annika. One gym in Miami is opening up the weight room for kids to learn what it takes to be an Olympic weightlifter. Annie Watson has the story.
All right, everybody ready? Let's go! All right.
Up in Pembroke Pines, kids of all ages and levels spend their weeknights here. This is Team Omnia Kids Gym, a gym focused on teaching Olympic weightlifting to kids in South Florida. The kids are taught by coaches who have gone through weightlifting journeys of their own.
My experience at Team Omnia has been nothing but really good times. You know, I started about a year ago, a few days actually. I started lifting here, and you know, the atmosphere has been great. You know, the coaches have been awesome. The people here have also been amazing. You know, I felt like I've really belonged here since day one, basically.
Chris and the other coaches at Omnia teach classes ranging from beginner to advanced levels. Each session focuses on the Olympic lifts, like deadlifts, cleans, and jerks. The kids are taught proper form as well as goal setting for both in and out of the gym.
Everybody here is super nice. They'll greet you as soon as you come in. Very friendly. They correct you on stuff. And, you know, just, you know, hitting those PRs feel good. So the me who started on the first day would be very proud of me now.
My favorite part about coaching is seeing the kids' reactions when they hit these really big PRs or really big like weights that they're so excited to do, that they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to hit this. And you see them finally hit it and they're just so excited, you know?
Paul Bahar is the man who started it all, founding Team Omnia Kids Gym to fill a need for science-based curriculum in weightlifting. The weightlifters taught by Bahar have gone on to win competitions at the local, state, and national levels. But regardless of the hardware that's brought home, the gym teaches the kids more than just how to handle a barbell.
Place brings in everybody, no matter if you don't know anybody, sooner or later you will get to know everybody, and it's a team.
Is that the kids just really enjoy the sport. They just love coming into weightlifts. They understand the sport so well, and they just enjoy being here every day when they come in. They just have a bunch of fun. We try to have as much fun as possible, and it seems like they really enjoy it.
Annie Watson, UMTV.
Thanks, Annie. Up next on Sports Desk, our lead reporter Jaya Williams is live at the Knight Sports Complex as Canes volleyball takes on NC State. That and more when we return. But first, it's time for some trivia. Canes receiver Xavier Restrepo became Miami's all-time leading receiver last week against Duke. But who held the record before him? Was it A, Reggie Wayne, B, Santana Moss, C, Michael Irvin, or D, Philip Dorsett? The answer when Sports Desk returns.
Okay, so how are our fantasy teams doing?
Oh, well, this year I'm trying to make a late playoff push. I'm 4-5, but I just traded for Derrick Henry, so we're going to see.
You?
Mel, we're 7-2. We got great depth, great starting lineup.
Thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go. Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back. If you guessed B, you're correct. Santana Moss's 2,546 career yards were a program record for over 20 years. He broke the record against Boston College back in 2000. Miami Hurricanes athletics boasts some of the most talented student athletes in the country. I had the chance to talk with one Canes athlete who's as talented in the studio as he is on the field. College athletes have the skills to make superhuman feats look easy, but getting to where he is today was anything but easy for Aaron Kim.
I was never the most athletic kid. I was super skinny, not strong. I felt like there was always that drive in me even though I didn't have those traits, and that definitely carried over, and that pushes me every day.
Aaron is a high jumper at the University of Miami, and even though being a student athlete can feel like a full-time job, he makes sure to balance it with his other passion, art.
I started painting and drawing when I was really young, and it's always been a huge part of who I am. As I've navigated through, Division I sports, keeping something like art so close to my chest is really, really important.
Aaron's art is some of the most unique art I've ever seen. I think the talents that he has are just insane. I think everybody deserves to see his work.
He may be talented on the field, but his work off of it has gained recognition as well. Last year, one of his pieces was featured at a gallery in San Francisco.
I'm creating every day, and pieces that, I'm super proud of, I'm making all the time. But for something to be recognized, that feels pretty special.
Despite his love for art, he's still committed to bettering himself and others every day on the track.
Aaron, as a teammate, you can't ask for a better one than that. He's somebody that he holds himself to a standard, and he also holds you to a standard, so he's always pushing you to get better and making you go that extra mile.
Whether it's on the track or in the art studio, Aaron always gives 110%.
Captain America, like what makes him so special as a superhero, even though he's like GMO'd or whatever, is he was the skinniest guy just with the biggest heart. And I feel kind of like that sometimes. Everything that I do out of the love and the passion that I have for it. There's not a single thing that I will do that I'm not fully behind.
Wrigley Court, UMTV.
Thank you, Wrigley. After an incredible win against Cal and number 5 Stanford last weekend, Canes volleyball looks to continue their momentum against NC State. Our lead reporter, Jaya Williams, is live at the Knight Sports Complex to tell us more. Jaya, what's going on?
Manny, it's electric tonight once again. As you mentioned, the Canes are coming off an undefeated weekend. They swept Cal 3-0 on Sunday, and right now they're playing hard, looking to add another win to their 16-7 record. NC State should look out for sophomore Grace Lopez and redshirt freshman Ariana Rodriguez. Both athletes claimed ACC Player of the Week honors, with Lopez Offensive Player and Rodriguez Setter of the Week. Miami fans have showed up and showed out today, rocking beach leis and beach towels in support of their Hurricanes. Speaking of fans, the University of Miami has announced its first ever Fan of the Year. I had the pleasure of sitting down with J.D. DeCilo for the second time since 2021 to get an updated glimpse into life as Miami's biggest fan. More than 700 Hurricanes fans entered the running for the University of Miami's inaugural Fan of the Year award this past August, each hoping to earn the distinction of this first ever honor.
The fans here do a really good job of creating that environment that helps our teams have success. You're watching the teams, but we're also watching you guys, and we really appreciate their support.
But for J.D. DeCilo, this opportunity was a chance for recognition of over 21 years of loyalty. His loyalty extends across every Miami sport. To him, Canes Nation is more than just a fan base.
We are not a nation. We are a family. Sports, it's just like siblings. You can't love one more than the other. You have to provide the support to every single one of the siblings.
And just like a good brother should, JD makes sure to give all his siblings equal attention.
It's great to have him. I love it. Having support from the stands and specifically JD's energy makes him the best fan that we could ever have.
His dedication inspires many to follow his lead.
I got to say that it's kind of impacted me in that I feel like I want to be a better fan. He's turned out year after year through some really tough years at the U. I think the team sees it, and it makes them better.
When it came time to pick a winner, it was JD's heart and team spirit that put him at number one.
It was just the passion and the way that he goes about showing his fandom that really set him apart from everybody else.
I'm a big fan of Bob Marley. That's what I want to be known as. Somebody who rallied the community and share one love. It's an individual award, but I hold it for everybody. Well, I think I'm strong enough to hold it for the whole Canes family.
Strong enough indeed. Jaya Williams, UMTV.
Thanks, Jaya. Still ahead on SportsDesk, Shane McDonald steps off the bench and onto the dance floor. Don't go anywhere. SportsDesk will be right back.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Dancers are often known for their grace and agility. Shane McDonald has neither. But this week on Off the Bench, he tried to add some dance moves to his game.
Yeah, he's right. And I'm neither graceful nor agile, but that did not stop me from joining the Miami Emotion dance team for this edition of Off the Bench.
Stretching, and I probably pulled something trying to keep up. Afterwards, we started to put together the dance of the day to the song Amnesia by Camilio. We broke down the steps one by one, building our way up. Through the first third of it, it wasn't the worst thing possible. I was moving a little bit, and as you can see right here, look at the finish. Look at the finish.
Point, you know, I'm not the most flexible person, as you might be able to see, but this is fun. This is really fun. Yeah, I'm having a good time so far. Yeah.
And that's the best it would get. From there on, I struggled to pick up new moves, remember the old ones, and overall, I mean, just look at it. Look at it right here. I mean, this guy, zero coordination, zero finesse, zero wiggle. I mean, it's really bad. It's really bad. With one more piece of the dance left, I need to lock in and finish strong. Do some watching, learning, and a whole lot of coercing. Here was the final product.
And now for the grand finale of this episode of Off the Bench. Oh. Ah.
You got it.
Oh. And that's been this edition of Off the Bench. Yeah, I know. Some pretty sick moves right there, but unfortunately, I don't think I'll be joining the team in the long term. Pretty successful episode of Off the Bench. Back to you.
Thank you, Shay. Saquon Barkley has been making jaw-dropping plays since his rookie season, but 7 years into his NFL career, we may have just seen his best. Let's head over to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia for this week's Play of the Day. Eagles up early against the Jaguars. Jalen Hurts dropping back. He's looking. He's going to find Saquon Barkley for the check down. He's going to break one tackle. He's going to break another. And what's this? A 180 hurdle. Run that back. Saquon breaking one tackle, spinning around another guy. He's moving backwards. He's taking the 180 hurdle over the rookie Jerry Jones, excuse me. That's one way to welcome him to the NFL. Saquon to finish the game with 27 carries for 159 yards and a touchdown as the Eagles beat the Jaguars 28-23, and that is your Play of the Day.
Last week's game was one for the history books for Canes receiver Xavier Restrepo. Let's send it off to Hard Rock Stadium to take a look at X-Men's record-breaking play.
Passes and another Miami lead. And stuff like that, here goes Restrepo. Welcome to the record books, your number one. Most catches, most yards in the grand history of this program, and his mom, Ashley, is loving it.
Now has 2,573 receiving yards, passing Santana Moss, and now has also beaten Mike Harley for most receptions at the U. Restrepo having a great season, leading Miami to number 3 ranked team in the country, and Miami hopes to reach the ACC championship and get their first win as a program.
And man, just having players like Xavier Restrepo on this team, that's why Miami is so good.
I mean, he's been absolutely electric this season. Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo, I haven't seen that in Miami in a long time.
It's one of the best duos between a quarterback and a receiver I've ever seen. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to tune in next Friday, same time, same place.
Have a great night, everybody.